not necessarily. It felt more like the cherry on top.
The fact that now you won a trophy
as
a team.
I know. I won a trophy as a team. With the team.
Yeah.
You see, so
perfect season.
Exactly. So I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. So it was a thing of wow, actually, I won this individual award and we won the Varsity Shield. It would have been a pretty bleak moment if we lost the Shield and I still won the award. It would be thinking of okay. But the award is actually a cherry on top because that was the goal, to win the Varsity Shield. We didn't care about the individual accolades and all this stuff, the trophies, whatever, the man of the match.
And it's never free time, even when the East where we live. East side, California, Cape for the kids. And my team white, we don't really care what you did. And I'm busy popping with my gang, yeah we live. Never free time, even when the East where I live. East side, California, Cape for the kids. And my team white, we don't really care what you did. And I'm busy popping with my gang, yeah we live.
You know how we ride, we reppin' the East side.
Disclaimer. The opinions and topics expressed on this show by the host do not necessarily reflect those of Kwetche. Additionally, the views and the opinions of the guest do not reflect those of the host and Kwetche.
Yo, what is up? Welcome to Kwetche, Season 1, Episode 7. I'm your host, Brian Bonga Kwetche, founder of Kwetche Enterprises. A beautiful day, I'm just chilling, relaxing, lounging. Easy Saturday, nothing much, nothing more. Another podcast session for y'all. To my loyal fans out there, I appreciate y'all. To every single one of y'all that watches every single video that I upload, I appreciate y'all. But enough of me, enough of how my day is going, enough of what I'm talking about. Today, I am with the 2023 Suzuki Rookie of the Year.
Let's go.
He plays for the UWC first team rugby. That's where I study, UWC. So he's my boy as well, And this year, just recently, they won the Varsity Shield. Congrats to them. Putting my university on the map. Shout out to him as well.
Shout out.
He's also a rising prospect in SA rugby. A rising prospect. And that's a massive achievement because y'all know, to all the rugby fans out there, y'all know how big rugby is in SA. For him to make a name for himself in South African rugby is massive, really. Today, I am with the one, the only, my boy, Hlomla Ncana.
Let's go.
My boy, my G. Welcome to the show.
It's an honor, bro. It's an honor.
Welcome to the show. The weather's crazy out here, right?
Bro, it's Cape Town. I mean, what do you expect,
1 minute it's warm. 1 minute it's cold. 1 minute. Because I'm originally from Gauteng and the whole week, nigga, it can be warm the whole week, 2 weeks. When it's summer here in Cape Town. Ever since I moved to Cape Town, studying here, the cold is, the different types of weather that I'm not really used to. Yeah. You from Cape Town, right?
No, I'm originally from Cape Town, grew up here, I was born here and everything, But I did stay for a few years in Joburg here and there, So the Joburg weather you're talking about, I'm quite aware.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's basically the same weather, bro. Come on. It's Joburg, it's Cape Town, it's different provinces here, but I mean, the weather's still the same.
Facts.
Still the same.
Facts. You gotta love Cape Town, though. You gotta love Cape Town. I always wanted to know, I've been following you I've been knowing you since the reserve days of your rugby. How did it all started? How did it all started for you?
Bro, you know what? The crazy thing is that I never wanted to play rugby. I never saw myself playing rugby, because I actually started playing rugby back in Joburg because I was at Hyde Park High. And then that's where basically...
You were at?
Hyde Park High.
Okay.
I was there in Joburg, so I was there for 5 years, I think. Yeah. And then, that's where it basically kicked off because, the crazy thing is they had a whole rule at the school. I mean, because I was a soccer player. I played soccer, I played cricket. Rugby was never, part of the script or whatever you want to call it, right? So they had a rule where if you want to play soccer, you had to play rugby.
Oh.
And the rugby season was just before the soccer season.
Did you go to an all?
No, it was a co-ed school.
Co-ed school.
Yeah, it was
I
a
see.
co-ed school, yeah.
But they were heavily on rugby, though.
No, not even. But like, it was a thing of guys didn't want to play rugby. You feel me?
Oh,
so,
I see.
Yeah. So
they try balancing everything out.
So they wanted the same guys who played soccer to play rugby as well. Because I mean, rugby is a sport at the end of the day, and they wanted to compete within the league. You feel me? So yeah. So we're basically forced to play soccer in order to play rugby. You feel me? So I was a soccer player in general. So I mean, I instantly qualified to play rugby. But one of my coaches told me that actually, hey, I should play rugby and whatnot. And obviously, I didn't have a choice because I have to play rugby.
You love soccer.
Play soccer,
well.
yeah. You feel me? Yeah.
So was it a thing of if no matter how good of a soccer player you were,
no matter how good or what, but if you want to play soccer, if you want to play soccer, you need to play rugby. So for me, rugby was never a thing, as I said, So obviously, I played rugby and whatnot. This was grade 8. Yeah, grade 8. I was deep in my soccer, deep in my cricket. I was mostly more of a cricket guy, So then,
I saw. I've been checking your Instagram out, while doing my research, and you sometimes go watch cricket games.
Yeah. Nah, I'm a cricket fan, bro. I still watch cricket till this day,
Yeah.
So when we play rugby and all that, and I actually realized, because I never took rugby seriously, but I actually had a nice coach who actually, who made rugby nice, who made it fun and all that stuff. So if you have a coach like that, you'd want to engage in the sports and whatnot. So I played rugby. I was actually a forward. I played as a forward. I played as a flank, and I was actually captain because apparently I was the biggest guy.
To be a flank, you need to be fast, right?
You need to be agile, mobile, fast in a way, So I knew I was fast anyway. So and not that I was the biggest guy, but I kind of had the body built, My body was a bit built. I didn't even start gymming that time. I wasn't gymming or anything. So yeah,
it was strictly soccer.
Bro, I was strictly soccer, strictly cricket. Grade 8, first time holding a rugby ball. I went onto the field. Actually, we weren't playing the best schools, So during that time, I couldn't tell how good I was or anything. And I would see him.
And it was still early stages.
Yeah, it was still early stages, I was only, 14 in grade 8, So I'm still finding my feet and finding my way through rugby and all that stuff. But I actually ended up enjoying it. Not that I was taking it seriously or what, but yeah, I was actually starting to enjoy it because I wanted to play soccer, And soccer, I think I was quite good at that time.
Yeah.
Maybe not now, but back then I was, I was in the mix, if you want to call it that way, yeah.
No, interesting, bro. Interesting. So, as time went, obviously you had to develop a passion for it to be where you're at now.
Definitely.
How did it all come about now? Like, how did the passion for rugby?
So,
why did you want to become serious now?
Yeah. So it came about when I moved back to Cape Town because I was in Joburg for a couple of years, 5 years, yeah, and then I came to Cape Town. And when I came here, I went to an all boys school. So it was all boys. It was a white school, Random Boys High. And then, I got there. It's a rugby school in a way, but they're quite good in all these sports, all these sporting codes and stuff like that. So it was a thing of, not that it was peer pressure or anything, but like it was a thing of everyone plays rugby.
You're trying to fit in.
Yeah. Basically trying to fit in. We only had, out of the whole school, there were only 55 black guys in the whole school. And majority of these guys, they were all playing rugby, they were all playing a certain sport. I wanted to play soccer, but soccer in Cape Town, in schools, it's not that, it's not that.
Schools in Cape Town, it's not that big of a
thing. You see. So
the whole culture of sports in Cape Town is mostly rugby.
It's mostly rugby, it's based around rugby, maybe cricket coming second, But I came to the school, the guys had the whole thing about playing rugby. Rugby is such a big thing. Because when I got there, the guys were asking me hey, are you here for rugby? Are you here for rugby? Because, it's a top school, so you get guys who are coming on scholarship, on bursaries and everything like that. So there were guys like that. So they were asking me, hey, are you playing rugby? Playing rugby? Then I'm like, nah, bro, I play cricket, I play soccer.
They didn't take you serious.
They didn't take me serious. And I was there on a cricket scholarship.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I was there. So I got there. The guy asked me, am I playing rugby or whatnot? I was like, nah, guys, I'm not playing rugby, whatever. So I went on with my cricket journey in grade 10, because I got there in grade 10. My cricket journey. I had my struggles there, because not that I'm bad in the school or whatever, but there were a few ups and downs with the coaches and stuff like that, in grade 10. Because I was promised first team cricket when I got there. And all of a sudden, I'm not even in the first team cricket team. I'm in the second team, So I thought, what? I've played rugby before.
Try it out.
Yeah, let me try it out because everyone suggests I should play rugby.
Yeah.
See how I'm doing, Because it's Cape Town. The guys are really good out here. You feel me? So I was like, you know what, let me try. My first game actually in rugby was actually in the C team. Under 16 Cs. I had a great game. I had a muzz of a game, expressed myself and everything. And then I was called up to the B team in the second game. Third game I was in the A team.
So quick, yeah.
Ever since then, I mean...
It was just an upward trajectory.
It was just an upward way, bro. Like, it was literally, I didn't expect it, I didn't see myself playing rugby that way, Even today, I didn't expect to be where I am today, So, from there, I just built... That's where the passion actually started, That's where the passion started, and I developed love for the game and everything else, So, yeah, that's where the passion came about, basically,
That's dope. That's dope. Because, I mean, in sport, in anything in general, you don't know how far passion can take you. You honestly don't know how far passion can take you, because most of the successful, when you look, most of the successful people in this world, what they initially wanted to do when they started their journey, what they're doing now is totally different.
Bro, it's totally different. I feel like a lot of guys can't say they are where they wanted to be. I honestly feel that way, because the way it's so tough, the way the rugby industry is so tough, especially coming from a high school, I mean, there's a whole stigma of being, once you matric, you get an early contract, you get a pre-contract, the next year once you're out of school,
go to uni.
You're going to a union, you're getting paid for what you do. So a lot of guys aim for that, but I mean...
You're competing against a lot of people
the best
as well.
Of the best, bro. Yeah. The best of the best.
So the hunger for you, that's where, in high school, that's where the hunger
that's
for you...
That's where it started. Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
That's dope. I mean, hunger is very important. Hunger is very important, especially in combat sport. I consider rugby a physical sport where you have to, you compete against other guys that are more hungry than you, that wanna take your head off in the field.
Bro, people do all sorts of weird things just to be where they wanna be, even if it means demeaning you or whatsoever. Like, guys are gonna do their best to be in front of you, So it's a dog fight. You need to be a dog. It's time to be hunted, bro.
Facts. Facts, bro. Facts. We in the same uni as well. Shout out to my boy Lefa. He actually brought this whole thing up. So hear this out. Lefa, he's actually playing PlayStation now. If you hear buttons mashing, he's playing FIFA. So anyway, Lefa, he's my boy. That's actually how this whole thing came about. So he's my friend, Lefa connected to him. And that's how, we all go to the same university. That's how all this thing, went about. Now that you're in uni, shout out to my boy Lefa. Now that you're in uni now, bro, I mean, surely you made plans for yourself now that you established yourself in the first team. What's the way forward for you now? What's your 5-year plan? Is being a pro rugby player consideration in your head now that you're so far? I mean, rookie of the season, Varsity Shield winner, first team rugby is pro, like, in the back of your mind now.
Thing is, like, as I said before, rugby was never a thing where I actually saw myself, But obviously, as time went by, things developed, things came about, things changed. You set plans, but I mean, these plans can actually take you into different directions, So right now, obviously, having played the Shield season and all that, my initial plan, I never saw myself in this space. So back then, I didn't say I want to be a professional rugby player. I've always had the mindset of I want to finish my studies, get out of varsity, work, grind my way up and make money. I mean, I don't want to work till I'm 40 years old, bro. I want to be working at home and chilling and all that stuff, So even now, while I'm in school, I have my own things on the side, trying to hustle my way out, you feel me? So once I'm out of uni and all that stuff, I can, actually have a thing for myself. But in the next 5 years, I'll be honest with you, I do see myself playing rugby, God willing, so and hence I'm pushing the way I'm pushing and taking my rugby seriously. I mean, we played in the Varsity Shield. That's a great foundation to express yourself for guys.
On TV,
scouts. I'm on TV now and then, So, I mean, it's a great platform, to be what I want to be,
Did you get calls after that season? Because you had a good season, bro. I watched most of your games. I mean, rookie of the season. Did you get called?
I mean, there were rumors here and there that I might be called and stuff like that, but it's never. It's not something.
A dead set thing.
It's not a dead set thing. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, fine. Then I know, okay, I have my degree. I can start working. I can do what I want to do. Because, I mean, you can't play rugby all your life as well, so you need to have a backup plan, So, regardless of me playing rugby or not, I know I have a set plan and a whole foundation that I can actually fall back on. But rugby-wise, I do want to play rugby. I do see myself, playing for the Stormers, for example, or the Lions or the Sharks or whatever. So God willing, I'm going to keep pushing. That's the goal. We in the Varsity Cup next year. So that's another great opportunity.
Another step,
yeah, it's a step up the ladder, you know. So, yeah.
So are your family supportive of this? Were they supportive of this from the beginning, or did you have to convince them did they have to see that you're good enough for you to push and balance? Because you know how, you know, parents are school first, then sports second, you know. So how were they supportive of you to be where you're at now, or did you have to convince them of how good you are? Thing
is about me, like, I'm not a guy who likes to talk a lot. You know, like family-wise, I don't tell them I play rugby and all that. They'll see me, they'll hear from my parents, from my mom or whatever that I play rugby. But every time they see me, Blackberry,
Yeah.
So it's a thing of every time they see me, like, hey, we saw you on TV. How are you doing this? And obviously
they go brag.
Yeah. Them thinking that I play on TV. Since I play on TV, I mean, it's a thing of I have money or whatever. I have that amount or whatever. So they're like, hey, you know. But I mean, it's difficult to me to have them understand where I am currently. I'm still at university. I'm still building my way up, you know. So, but support system wise, they're very supportive. Sorry. They come out and watch my games and everything, and you know that's something you know you should actually appreciate, because not everyone has that kind of support, you know, in the family and stuff like that. So I do have quite a few people out there who come out and watch my games and support of me and everything, you know, through the goods and the bad times, you know.
Yeah, facts. Because I mean, you touched on a special and on important topic, support. Because no matter how good you are in something, in any sport, no matter how good, talented you are, if you don't have the support, someone backing you, do this, do that, pushing you to be great, you don't know which limit.
Yeah, and it feels great, eh? Like having someone, knowing that someone's watching you, and knowing that someone recognizes.
It gives you that. I'm sure it gives you that extra effort on the pitch that I have to really do well to impress.
No lies. Because sometimes I even hear from people who I don't expect to hear it from. You know, like a random family member or some guy I met on campus or whatever. Like these days on campus, I'll have someone coming up to me telling me, "Yo, bro, you're doing good work. You know, keep it up, keep pushing, keep grinding. You know, keep hustling."
And that's the that's a push.
And that's like, you know, it's an eye opener, bro. Because like, I mean, I play rugby, I do whatever, I perform or whatever, and like, it ends there. You know, for someone to come up to you, I mean, it takes a lot for a person to come up to you and tell you, "Yo, bro, you're doing a good job. You know, you're doing well." So I actually appreciate those kind of things, you know, because they don't come every day, and you know, you actually don't know how many people actually realize the work that you're doing. So when someone comes up to you, especially if it's a random person, it's like, you know.
Because it also pays off for those nights, you know, when you work alone in the gym, trying to reach a certain level you're trying to get, and for someone to notice you it means that you're doing something right. It means that, you know, those nights in the gym are paying off. It's definitely those hours before, you know.
Because I mean, during those hours or all that hard work that you're doing, I mean, no one's there with you. You're alone. It's just you and your mentality and your mind, you know. It's about you motivating yourself and all that kind of stuff. So you're alone in this. So when someone, you know, shows some gratitude and some, like a piece of appreciation, I mean, it goes a long way.
Because it's also a battle before the battle, you know, those nights before a big game.
Definitely.
It's a battle before the battle. You preparing yourself mentally. I can imagine. The final, Varsity Shield final, I can imagine you are preparing yourself for war.
Bro.
You put a game that game. Bro. You put a game, bro. Man of the match in my eyes.
And thing is about the final, it was like, there were so many people there. I've played in crowds in high school. I mean, crowds come out in high school. But that day...
You even played it in stadium as well.
Bro.
DHL.
Cheapest, bro. That day it was... I don't know. I've never felt that feeling before. And the thing is, the crazy thing is, it's so difficult to block people out, you know, because you have people chirping you on the sides and all that stuff. But
so the nerves were with you.
Bro, the nerves are definitely there. And
couldn't you sleep the night before? Like you were like, what if I flop? How will I play?
Bro,
how will I do this game?
I don't even know. I don't even know what time I slept. And then another thing was, you know, because there was this whole Rookie of the Year thingy. There was this whole voting thing going on. It was, you know.
Oh, so it was a thing of like, your peers had to vote for you, like other universities also had to vote.
Other universities, people, it was out there for the public, you know, so anyone could vote, right? So there was this whole thing. I had a lot of people actually voting for me, you know, my girlfriend as well. She was, you know,
pushing it for you. That's
pushing
dope.
It for me.
That's dope.
You know, so yeah, there was a lot of, it was a big build up. It was a big build up because there was no break in between that week before the final and the semi-final. So we played the semi-final and then straight to the final the next week. So that's when the whole thing was happening and stuff like that, you know. So it was a big build-up, you know. Everyone was, you know, hey, we come and watch you, you know. And everyone knew, the boys knew that, hey, it's going to be a big game.
Yeah, the final after all, you know, the Rugby World Cup started yesterday. Nice game,
man.
I'm not gonna lie, you might laugh.
Game.
You might laugh. Me and my boy left when we put money on New Zealand, and they unfortunately disappointed us. You know, they unfortunately disappointed us. You know, South Africa is like 2 point on Sporting Bet. They're like favorites to reach the final as well. Who you got winning the final?
I mean, I gotta go with my own boys. I gotta
Bucks.
go with the Springboks.
Okay.
I gotta go with the Springboks. I mean, the guys are ready, I think. But the thing is, with this World Cup, there's going to be a lot of surprises.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, I don't even think yesterday was a surprise, honestly. I mean,
because they were playing at home, huh?
Not even at home, bro. Like, this whole season, France has been performing. They have been performing throughout since last year as well. Everyone had them as favourites and everything. I mean, the All Blacks, I mean, they are a very good team. I mean, we all know the All Blacks, come on. And, yeah, even though we beat them and stuff like that, but, like, I think it's not the same team anymore compared to that 2015 team that won the World Cup.
And I think now, because of people know how good the All Blacks are, they're more better prepared for them. You know, I think teams like France, the reason why they're doing so, the way I see it, the reason why teams like France, Ireland, they're doing so well is because they weren't really a good rugby nation in the past. Now it came as a surprise to everyone, and now the teams that are playing against them, they not prepared. Whereas if they play New Zealand, they already know I have to up my game against New Zealand or Box. But if it's a team like, I mean, France before, you know, they were good and they were getting whipped.
Yeah, I think the thing is of those teams, they've got everything to gain, nothing to lose. You get a team like Springboks.
Because first of all, they're underdogs.
They're underdogs. So they're playing, they know they're playing against big teams and they have everything to prove. They know what they need to do. Springboks, All Blacks, those guys have been performing for years and years. And
before we're even born, that's crazy.
Exactly. You see, so they have a certain standard already that's set, and they go according to that standard. They have nothing left to, you know, how can I say, they have nothing more to present out there. The Springboks who know they're going to play. I don't think they have anything else. And say the same goes with the All Blacks. So these teams have everything to gain. They're more motivated than these big teams to actually, you know, win. You know, like the thing that happened yesterday. France, we all know France. I mean, France haven't been a good team. Like over the past 10 years or whatsoever. But obviously, for the last 2 to 3 years, they've been building and building and building. And knowing that they're playing at home advantage.
It's a big thing, yeah. You know? You see, even when the Springboks play here, how full the fans, the stadiums are.
I mean, are you surprised when you see the Springboks win? Or you see the way they play? You're not surprised because, I mean, it's what they do all the time, you know. But when you see a team like France, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Argentina, those kind of upcoming teams, not that they're upcoming, but they've been there, but like, you know, they're not on the Springbok and All Blacks level. So when you see a team like that perform, that's what makes the game exciting, you know. Not knowing who's going to win. Yesterday, everyone was on the edge of their seat, you know.
It makes this World Cup a very hard one.
Bro, it's different.
Because before we were like either New Zealand or Springboks or England. You know, now we don't even know.
Even England, bro, I don't know what's happening with England, you know. I haven't been looking to them, but I think they're playing tonight or whatever.
But they're still favourites, though. They're still one of the favourites.
I don't think so. Hey, they lost the Six Nations. They lost a few games down build up to the World Cup. So they are a good team. They have great individuals, but can they put up the 2019 performance? I don't think so.
Especially if they if they reach the knockout stages against like a big, you know, rugby nation. That's dope. So, you know, obviously South Africa have been doing so well over the years with the rugby. You know, going back to you coming up with the rugby, has also you pushing in rugby, has South Africa doing so well in rugby, I mean, winning the Rugby World Cup, has that also influenced your decision to actually let me see where I can go with this? Because, I mean, if I do make it, I know, I mean, good hand, South Africa is a good rugby nation. Yeah. Has that influenced your decision also coming up?
Definitely. I mean, whatever the Springboks do influences everyone, starting from high school level, going up to the union level, varsity level. Because, I mean, you see quite a number of Springboks who played in the Varsity Cup, in the Varsity Shield. You see, so that does motivate one, you know, to become a better player and actually to have hopes and dreams of playing in the Springbok national team. You feel me? So that definitely influenced the way I thought about rugby and the way I think about rugby, because I do hope and one day see myself in the Springbok jersey. because having seen guys like Kurtley Orense who played for UWC, Bongi Bonami who played for Tuks, a number of guys who played in the Varsity Cup, Ebenezabeth, those guys actually came out from universities, straight to unions, into the national team. So, I mean, thing is, one thing about South African rugby, that there's this whole stigma about having to get a contract after high school. Because there's this whole thing, okay, I'm in matric, I need to have a grade year, play Craven Week, and, get a contract, be in the national team, national setup under 20, in a grade union going up. So I don't think that's the only journey that's there, that's available. You can be out of high school with no contract, like me. I mean, COVID played a huge effect in my rugby career because 2020 was a year where I actually, wanted to be in the Craven Week team, play for Western Province, and get the contract.
What's the process of getting? It's through high school after going.
High school is the foundation.
Going to the Cape Western Cape Province team.
Yeah, high school is the foundation. That's where everything starts.
That's where they scout you.
That's where they scout you. You get put into training squads. There's this whole thing going on. So once you're in high school, you get scouted. Maybe in grade 11 or matric, you get picked for Western Province. Western Province, the SS scouts. You
around the nation.
Anywhere in the province, depending where they're hosting the tournament. So you play wherever there's SS scouts. From there, there's a under 18 SS schools week. So they pick guys from the Craven Week throughout all the teams. So they pick guys from there. There's two teams, the SS schools A and the normal SS schools team. So they pick guys there, and that's where your career basically starts. Basically. So a lot of people have come to saying that them not having a contract after high school is a fail. It's not a fail.
I mean, there's different avenues. Yeah,
it's not a fail. There's Varsity. You can go to Varsity, play Varsity Cup. From there, you can get scouted from a union as well. Get into the Western Province team or whatever union you're in, and build your way up. That's how it goes. I've seen a number of guys who play club rugby, not even Varsity,
and still make it.
Club rugby and make it to the provincial team. So there's a lot of routes you can take. It's never done. It's never done, bro.
Yeah.
It's never done. You get guys who in the national team who come in the national team when they're like 28, 29 years old. I mean, for example, Makazole Mapimpi. That guy made it when he was like 27. Late in his career. But that's where he actually peaked.
Yeah, that's the aim, not to give up.
Not to give up. You can't give up, bro. It's a dog game.
Because you see, we live in because of social media now, because we see someone doing better than us, we tend to give up because we see that, okay, we might not reach our potential, but it's a process. It's a process, just like how you, where you at now, the fact that, you won, you playing first team rugby for UWC without even taking the route of high school, getting scouted there. It shows how resilient you are. And people should take example from you. The fact that you didn't give up. Especially at a young age, it must have affected you. The fact that
definitely,
because
it wasn't even like I wasn't scouted out of high school. I wasn't taken by UWC, and they never told me, hey, come play rugby.
And you can understand at a young age that can affect you. It's only a few guys that are young that will be like, okay, no, it's fine. It's just a mistake that I did. I can go and
but if you want to play,
it's
it's a big thing. Like you want to play because straight out of high school, in 2021. There was no season basically. There was only the Varsity Cup season, and there were no under 20s. I was still under 20 at that time. And bear in mind, I wasn't scouted anything by the Varsity. I told myself out of high school, fine. COVID hit, no provincial rugby whatsoever. I played probably like 2 games in 2020. Then COVID came, and then after that, I was in 2021. I was at UWs. There was no season at all, no rugby season. So I didn't play for a whole year. We were training now and then, but I didn't play for the whole year. And then in 2022,
during that year, you were just keeping fit.
I was just keeping fit, training, gymming, hitting
not to lose your shape, not to lose your form. Yeah.
And I was playing rugby here and there, for a number of clubs or whatever. But it was COVID, so nothing was consistent. I wasn't really set, And I won't lie, I was a bit confused because I didn't know. I was like, okay, should I stop this rugby thing and just focus on my studies, or should I just keep playing or what? So that's where the dog mentality, staying motivated 24/7, that's where it actually played a role, because I almost stopped playing rugby. But I was like, you know what? Let me actually continue and see what the new year has for me, So 2022 came, I was playing for the under 20 young guns at UWs, and then it all started. That's actually the first team coach saw me. So after my first game for UW's under 20, the coach actually told me, no, come train with the first team. Right. Fine. I didn't play any Varsity Cup games that year. I was just training with him here and there, but I was mostly in the under 20 team. And then at the end of 2022, actually, I started playing club for the first team. You know, I left the under 20s and they told me, okay, you know what, come play with us because I know club, there's a number of guys going in and out, there's injuries and whatsoever. So they actually take guys from the under 20s and put them in the first team. So that's what happened. I started playing the first team there, played every game for the first team in the club rugby season. And then 2023, that's where it all kicked off, bro. That's where it all started.
You know, now that you just spoke about your how you got to the first team of UWC under 20s. Did you have to go through an initiation process to go to the first team? Because you know our initiation is still a real thing in rugby. Because I know, there's a rugby player that I follow. He plays for England, and he's like the initiation here to go through was to shave his head.
That's
the initiation. Did you have to go through other initiations?
Definitely. I remember last year. So while I was playing club, we had a USA tournament. So that's basically an inter-varsity tournament that's played after the Varsity Cup. And then I was actually selected to go with the first team. We traveled to Pretoria over there. So now we had this whole thing of having a board, walking around with a board that has your name on it, everything, and you know your position, where you are, and all that stuff. So everywhere I go, I had to walk around with the board.
Luckily, it wasn't that bad.
So it wasn't that bad. But I mean, initiation is a thing still in most teams. Even in high school, my first team game, I had to cut all my hair off. You know, I had to go bald, and So,
and on top of that, you entering first team with big guys, so you can't really tell them.
Exactly. You can't say no. You know? So the initiation is still a thing. I'd say it's still a thing, depending on what team you have and the culture and the tradition. You know. So, but in the teams I've been in, there has been.
They were a bit lenient.
Yeah, definitely a bit lenient because I mean I've heard a lot of stories that in the past guys had to do this. You know, there's tunnels, all that stuff.
And they
smack you, they hit you, all kinds of things.
Imagine you bowled and then they
exactly. You know, everyone's having their go at you. So that did happen in high school, but you know. I don't know say anything about it. But
that's crazy. I mean, at least it's something you had to go through.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, you know,
bro.
I mean, it's fascinating how, especially in the varsity rugby scene, you guys, especially last semester, you guys played week in, week out.
Yeah.
You know, how hard or easy is it to gain the strength and mentality to sustain a full rugby season? Because I mean, you're a student as well. The traveling to different provinces, the deadlines of projects, while you had to also represent your first team rugby, attend training. How hard or easy is it like to gain that mentality and strength to withstand a season like that?
It's really tough because I mean, we play season after season. There's basically
week in, week out.
So we had a whole pre-season that started last year already, after the club season I was mentioning earlier. We had a whole pre-season that started in October till January, and then Feb, the season kicked off. So it's very difficult, especially during the season. I mean, you're traveling, as you said, and you have to balance your studies with that as well, you know. So you need to prepare yourself, you know. You need to know what you want, and you need to know what the main thing is, and let the main thing stay the main thing.
And also have like daily routine so that you keep your life in check every day. Do you have daily routines so that you do everything that you want to do? Is that how your life is based? Everything
definitely. I mean, you have to set a whole
time
plan.
For gym, time for studying, time for this, time for that.
You have to set a whole plan so what I did was most of the times we'd have training on Mondays and Wednesdays. No, Mondays and Tuesdays, and then on the Thursday we actually play. So what I did, on the days we have training, I'd actually train in the morning. I'd have to go to gym. So I go to gym, have a session in the morning. Then I know throughout the day I'm on campus, whatsoever, doing all my schoolwork and stuff like that. Then later on I have practice. So there were free days now and then, like the Wednesday was a big free day. So that's where I actually caught up with my work, knowing that I'm going to travel, you know, because we travel on Wednesdays. So sometimes if we're playing a home game, then I'd actually do a lot of work on a Wednesday. But most of the times I'd have to do it on a Monday and a Tuesday. Because on a Wednesday, I'm in Pretoria, wherever I'm in the Eastern Cape we're playing. And we leave on a Wednesday, we play on a Thursday. and then on a Friday we come back and you're tired and everything. Then you have 2 days till the next practice. Not even 2 days. Sometimes we're training on a Saturday. You know, so
and on top of that, training is grueling as well.
exactly.
It's first team as
you know,
well.
so balance is a real thing. You know, so even on tour, you take your laptop with and do whatever you have to do.
Oh, so that's what you had to do even in the plane
bro.
Work.
Get to the town, get free time, open your laptop, do whatever you need to do. You know, hand in whatever assignment because we're actually booked off. Luckily, so on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're actually booked off from classes, but in return, we actually have to do the work and stuff like that. Catch up the work.
Because it's not like they'll stop the work for you
I
and
mean, you chose the rugby line, so you need to deal with it. You have to find a way to deal with it. So it was a bit tough, but I managed. Yeah, I definitely managed.
At the beginning, it was tough because you had to get used to that lifestyle.
You need to get used to it.
Yeah.
Because you're always tired. You're constantly tired. You're at gym, you're on the field, you're on campus, you're walking around campus. I mean, there was some of the time it's hot. You get tired, man. So you need to find a balance and you need to have it in you to do what you want to do, you know. My books are the main thing, so I made sure each and every time that, I get my work done, go to practice, come back from practice, do whatever studying I need to do or catching up, knowing that I'm leaving the Wednesday, so I always had, have my stuff in line and, so I'd be stress-free on tour whatsoever, not playing while thinking about the test that I have the next day, or an exam or whatever assignment I need to hand in. So you always had to, set yourself straight and
do you get your priorities straight?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, especially on the gym subject, because I feel like also, with me, gym, it sort of creates a discipline. It builds that discipline in you. It affects other areas in your life. With me personally, without gym, I don't think I would have been disciplined. Without that discipline of, saying, okay, nah. Because discipline, gym has that discipline of, okay, I'm going every day. Okay, now that I'm going to gym every day, I have to push schoolwork every day. Now I have to push other things every day. And now that I'm doing gym every
make
day.
You feel a certain type of way about yourself as well.
Because you accomplished something.
Exactly, and you're building confidence. You're building confidence in yourself, in your body, So
you see transformation.
Exactly, that's another thing. It's nothing beats seeing change. So especially
because at the end of the day, everybody wants to see improvement in what they do. Yeah.
And no one's gonna do it for you. You need to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So it's up to you whether you wanna have a certain routine or whatever, do certain stuff. So gym is definitely a big part of my, my lifestyle and all that stuff. So I need to be at gym at least minimum of 2 times a week, thrice max or whatever if I have time. But I need to hit the gym at least twice a week.
So during the season, that's when you hit the gym every day.
Not necessarily every day.
Because you hit the gym session in the morning.
Yeah, so during the season what we do is we train obviously on a Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday.
So those training days we'd actually have gym sessions as a team.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday, maybe I'd pop out to gym again by myself, and maybe on a weekend as well. But
just to touch up on stuff you probably missed out in the gym, leg work, chest,
because at gym, there's so many guys gymming, so it's actually tough because you don't get much work as you want to do. Especially knowing that you want to gym, because some guys, just walk around modeling in the gym whatsoever. So the gym with the team, it was beneficial, but I wanted more time by myself, to finish off some stuff that I didn't do with the team or whatever. And the time was limited as well, so I had to catch up by myself, because I'm big on gym, I'm big on my body, my body is.
You big on improvement as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
no, that's a dope factor. That's a really dope factor. Now that you're a uni student as well. You've been at UWC as well. Now you see that difference. Now that you're a first team player, is rugby fame a real thing, especially as a university student? Because now that you're a first team rugby player, could you see the difference of how your life was before? As a first year, before you even joined the first team rugby, could you see the change in popularity walking through uni now, people recognizing you, people talking to you you haven't met before? Is rugby fame a real thing as a uni student? Do you get all the baddest girls? Do you get all the baddest girls out there?
I'm married.
My bad.
But I think it depends on who you are.
Yeah,
how you take it and how you interpret it. So I'd say it is a thing because a lot of people know you that you don't know, and you get random people greeting you and saying, with those comments, hey, well done, I saw you on the field, what, all that stuff. So I think it depends how you take it, but for me, it never necessarily changed anything, obviously there were people congratulating me and all that stuff, and I mean, your followers increase. There's a lot of things on social media. You're scoring tries, people are reposting, all that kind of stuff. So it depends how you take it. If you want to get lost in the source, I mean, you're gonna get lost in the source. But if you're gonna keep it real and keep it
Just
legit
be who
and
you
just
are.
be who you are, it's
facts,
not gonna really affect you.
facts.
So I think that's what I did. I stayed firm. I didn't really change anything or change my behavior whatsoever. It didn't really change anything in me. It's there. The fame is there. You see it in the people as well. I mean, social media and everything. So rugby fame is a thing. But it also depends on how you want to interpret it. As I said, you're going to get lost in the source,
Because at the end of the day, if you act like a person who you're not, it will end up catching up to you.
It will catch up to you because, I mean, you're trying to set a standard that you can't keep up to, You're setting a standard that, I must look a certain type of way.
Just to impress people.
People. I must keep this whole, this whole look about myself. But no, with me, no. I don't think it got to me or anything. But rugby fame is a thing, though. It is a thing, especially at Varsity.
Yeah, I see it most. I see it because I stay at Rays as well. I stay at Rays in my uni, and there's a couple rugby players there, and I mean, all the girls want them over,
And you see how people move. They like keep them, They have this whole certain, look to themselves or whatever. They move a different way and whatsoever. So it depends on how you're gonna take it and how it, I think it depends on who you are, basically.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Who you, the type of person you are. Because at the end of the day, glory. People experience glory at one point in their life, like how you experienced the glory of winning Rookie of the Season. What was that feeling like? Being recognized nationally, being recognized by your peers, people voting for you, being Rookie of the Season in a nation. What was that? Feeling like, is it just a stepping stone into what you want to become? I know you said that being a rugby player is an option, but is it a stepping stone, that Rookie of the Season? Is it like a stepping stone of who you want to become? Is it like a part of your accolades now?
I mean, honestly speaking, I never expected to even be nominated for it. I only found out, like, I don't know, because
do you feel like it's coming too fast at you?
No.
Or it's everything coming
not.
all as planned?
Definitely not.
From since day one?
I wouldn't say it's part of the plan, but I mean, it's part of the
process.
Yeah, it's part of the process. It's part of where I want to be. I see. So
I see.
Being Rookie of the Year is something I never expected. Not that I didn't even know there was such an award, to be honest with you. I was playing, the coaches nominated me, actually. So a whole lot of coaches nominated who they... So it was a whole thing about the coaches first.
So they choose one per team.
One per team.
Oh, I see.
And obviously the Varsity people, the Varsity Shield people obviously decide top 3 according to performances and all this stuff. So having scored a number of tries, I think that's what got me there. But when I actually found out I was nominated, I was actually surprised. Because I mean, it's not something I expected. I never knew there was such an award. But I actually, I was actually grateful to be nominated and everything, and grateful for people who voted for me, and having to win the award as well. So it was a great feeling, especially not having expecting it. So it was, I would say it was a stepping stone. I would say it was a stepping stone.
Can I ask you one thing? What did you do with the cash? What did you do with the cash?
Oh, when you married, when you're a girlfriend, you know where your money goes, bro.
I feel you.
That's where all your money goes, you feel me?
I feel you. Yeah. And I mean, you got how much? 3.5?
Yeah,
right?
3.5.
That's gang, though.
Nah,
that's gang.
I mean, it's cash you don't have.
Yeah. Just by playing well.
Oh, bro.
Just by doing what you love.
You feel me? So I was like, whoa, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you see that as like a salary. I mean, do you see that as like, okay, I mean, I'm doing something that I love. I'm getting money from it, and it's a motivation for you to even push to end up making rugby a salary now. Yeah.
How am I gonna say? It was a thing of, okay, my hard work is paying off.
Yeah.
Definitely. Having being recognized by the coaches and stuff like that, it's an honor, man. Because sometimes you think a coach doesn't like you, or a coach has a certain thing against you, whatever. Like, you always have these crazy thoughts that go on in your head and stuff.
Yeah,
like
facts.
Knowing that actually the coaches nominated me and actually, backed me into being nominated and actually winning the award was crazy. Not that I saw it as a salary or whatever, because I mean, I'm still still making my way up and all that stuff. But it was a blessing, because my hard work has paid off. My hard work during the pre-season and whatsoever and whatnot, and it's clearly paying off now. I won an award, and my hard work, is being recognized by the coaches as well. So it was a great achievement, I'd say. I mean, something I never expected, as I say. So
it's been a good year for you, bro. As far as I can say, Rookie of the Year, Varsity Shield as well. Did the success of winning Rookie of the Year feel different from winning the Varsity Shield? A team trophy versus a solo individual trophy. Did it feel different? Like,
not necessarily. It felt more like the cherry on top.
The fact that now you won a trophy
as
a team.
I know. I won
a trophy as a team.
With the team.
Yeah.
You see, so
perfect season.
Exactly. So I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. So it was a thing of wow, actually, I won this individual award and we won the Varsity Shield. It would have been a pretty bleak moment if we lost the Shield and I still won the award. It would be thinking of okay. But the award is actually a cherry on top because that was the goal, to win the Varsity Shield. We didn't care about the individual accolades and all this stuff, the trophies, whatever, the man of the match awards, The Shield was what we wanted. We wanted to win the Shield and get back into the cup where we belong. So that was the main goal, and having achieved that with the Rookie of the Year award, it was, couldn't ask for anything better, bro.
And how prepared are you for the Varsity Cup next season? Because I mean, unfortunately, you guys played the Varsity Cup last season. Unfortunately, you guys are relegated to the Varsity Show. But, you guys are back. You guys are back now. So, do you guys feel more prepared now? Do you feel prepared now that you know the team you're playing with? You guys know each other now. Do you guys feel prepared as a collective to do well in the Varsity Cup next season?
Definitely. We definitely do feel prepared. I feel prepared. I think the boys feel prepared. And throughout this whole season, we've built this camaraderie within the team where,
a tight unit, a family.
A family. We had motivational speakers coming in. We had motivational activity that we did and all that stuff. Team building, team bonding and all that kind of stuff. So those kind of things actually made us believe that we can win the Shield and actually be ready for the Varsity Cup season.
Is that what you lacked last season? There wasn't really togetherness last season in the team.
I mean, I wasn't part of that team. I got relegated, but I was part of it after that. So there was a sense of, there was no unity. Everyone was sort of on their own thing, doing their own thing. There wasn't a sense of, pride in what we're doing. The guys weren't playing for the badge. So I think after that, when we had a whole motivational speaker come in and all that stuff, so we had this guy who basically every week did activities with us, team bonding, all that kind of stuff, team building, all this kind of stuff. So those things actually,
change the atmosphere, change
built a whole tradition, a whole culture in the team that, we're doing this for one another, you're doing this for the guy next to you, and you're doing it for the badge, because you got to leave the jersey in a better place and you found it. So it was a thing of, being better players, being better individuals,
And that translated outside. Now you guys are even more, that also translate outside, like you guys are more even friends outside
exactly,
the rugby team.
It built a lot of bonds. Because there were a lot of guys who I didn't even know in the team. I knew them, but
not like that.
Yeah, not like that. It wasn't guys who were like chill with or whatever. Let's go wherever and have, grab some drinks or grab some lunch or whatever. But now, after this season, there's a whole, everyone, is united. There's a lot of ubuntu. You feel me? So it's a thing of, it built a lot of relationships, that weren't there before. And
it's a team sport after all. Like,
exactly.
I mean, just because there's a star player in the team won't do well. It's a collective.
It's a collective because, a lot of star players got injured, in a couple of games. We lost our captain as well, and he's quite an important individual in the team, but that never set us back. We didn't look at the negatives, always built on the positives on what we can do to improve as a team, what we can do better, regardless of which individuals in the team. Each person who wears the jersey has a whole role and has a job to do. Regardless of who wore that jersey before, you need to leave that jersey in a better place than you found it. So we had this whole culture, of being better than before, not only for yourself, but as a varsity for the team, for the varsity.
Because you guys are representing UWC at the end of the day,
We're not representing ourselves, we're representing the varsity, so we need to do the varsity proud. And the guys who left that jersey before us, So we built a lot of camaraderie, a lot of, unity, ubuntu, and
That's
what got us where we are today.
That's the importance of unity. You know, that's what we like in our people our age. You know, we like the sort of unity, the sort of togetherness. Is a thing of just because I do something for you, you have to do something for me. That's the type of mentality we have now.
Mentality where you expect something back, or
just because I did something for you.
I mean, bro, you can't
live like that.
Yeah, you can't. You know, so
because at the end of the day, you don't know what that person might end up doing for you in the future.
Exactly. You see, so it was a thing of trusting one another, building on one another, listening to one another, especially because listening is an important thing. Especially in a rugby
no
team.
egos.
No
it's
egos.
Important.
You need to be able to be coached. You need to be able to learn, you know. So because you see yourself playing, but that guy sees you from a better perspective. He can correct you and actually know what to do next or what you can improve on. So if someone gives you a piece of advice
and you have an ego,
it's not going to benefit you. Because I mean, that guy's only trying to make you a better player, not only for yourself, but for the team as well. So listening was a big thing as well. We had to listen to one another.
Because at the end of the day, that guy also sees what you're doing. And he wants the best for you and the team.
And he can see what you can improve on.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, listening was a big thing that we had to develop because it wasn't there before. So having listening to one another and, basically just expressing yourself, for the team's benefit and all that stuff. So
yeah, that's dope. Looking at your whole career, I know I'm saying career like you're 40 something, but looking at your whole career, the trials and tribulations of becoming the person you are today, man. Like, what advice would you give a high schooler that was in grade 10 in your shoes, trying to make it nationally, but realizing that there's so much competition? How do I make it nationally? How do I end up being on TV like you were? Yeah. What advice would you give a person in high school? What would you have done differently in high school, coming up as a rugby player, especially in now you realize that you're playing rugby consistently? What would you have done differently? Would the commitment have been different? Would what would have been different for you?
To be honest with you, there's nothing that I'll do differently. I believe that everything happens for a reason. I wouldn't be where I am today without those mistakes or anything that I did in the past happening. Those things
made you who you are today.
Helped me to become a better person. So honestly speaking with you, I wouldn't change a single thing because that's actually what got me to where I am today. And the thing is,
not regretting as well.
And not regretting anything. I'm very happy where I am. I'm quite content and, I'm proud of myself as well as an individual. And the thing is, a lot of youngsters, I'm a youngster and I don't want to speak as if...
No, but you know what I mean? Like high school youngster and our youngsters, I see it as different,
So, honestly, I'd honestly tell them to let the main things do the main thing. You need to know what you want and you need to go to all sorts of ends to make that possible, to make your dreams possible. If you want to be a rugby player, you need to let rugby. You need to love rugby. You need to eat rugby. You need to wake up rugby. You need to dream rugby.
Be hungry for it.
You need to be hungry for it. Obviously, with your studies, that's very important. I'll never take that away from anyone or anything. But to be where you want to be, you just need to stay true to yourself. Don't change for anyone. People often tend to try to fit in. I mean, I've been there. I've tried to fit in with people and it clearly didn't work. And it actually set me back. If you are who you are,
true to yourself,
you will end up in the right group that you belong to, So I feel like youngsters should just stay true to themselves, stay committed to what they want, and don't let anyone tell them that they can't do this or whatever. They need to, look at the bigger picture. They've seen other people get there and what's different to them getting there.
Having mentors
it's
as
the
well.
same way. It's for everyone, So you not getting a contract in high school doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. There's still other ways to get out there and become a Springbok player.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways out there. So you just need to, as I say, let the main thing stay the main thing. And don't get lost in people's judgments or whatever like that. Those opinions.
Because at the end of the day, people judge. But not everyone's. One thing I realized about life, growing up, becoming the man I am today. Not everyone's gonna like you,
bro. No one.
Not everyone.
No matter what you do, no matter what good you do, no one's gonna be happy.
Even if you be yourself, nobody's gonna like you.
So are you gonna spend the rest of your life trying to please people, trying to make people happy? You can't do that.
And that's the mistake we I was guilty of it in high school as well, and a lot of high schoolers are guilty of it, trying to impress, you know, a certain group of people, trying to please a certain group of people, having no haters, you know. But growing up, I realized that, I mean, even if you have so much money, you're still gonna have haters. Even if you're doing something right, you're still gonna have people
will hate on you till you hit your grave, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
And that's life.
That's life. That's how it is. You need to accept it the way it is, but don't let judgments cloud you. You know, don't let people's opinions define who you are.
Facts.
You know where you are. You need to stay true to yourself, and you know
the hard work will
pay off.
Facts.
It'll definitely pay off, bro. So yeah,
facts. My G, you know, we had a beautiful show. We spoke about a lot of stuff. You know, I wanted to get to know you. It was only, I mean, Lefa's my homeboy, and I mean, Lefa is your homeboy also. I mean, I also wanted to get to know you, because I mean, I'm tired with Lefa, you know. I've known Lefa for years. I've known him for years. I mean, you know, I'm thankful for you coming to the show, man. I'm thankful for you taking your time to come here, getting to know you, I now know you more than I know you before. Now, you know, you're my homie now. You know, for people that don't follow you on Instagram, for the people that don't follow you on Instagram, just shout out your Instagram, bro.
Yes, sir.
What's your Instagram?
Hlomla _Ncana, and that's where you'll find me.
Facts. And tell them when you hit that follow button, hit them a message and say, Billy sent me, Brian sent me. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. But nah, bro, it's been an honor. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, bro.
Shout out, blood. Shout out. Touch blood.
Yeah. Man. Another lovely episode of Kwetche Season 1, Episode 7. You know, with my boy, with my friend, the future. I call him the future GOAT. If you guys actually see this guy play, you would agree with me. That ass. The future GOAT. You know, go watch him play. He's gonna be playing in the Varsity Cup tournament next season. Watch him play. He's gonna be on TV.
Look out, number 11.
Yeah. Why number 11? I know some of your pictures you had number 14.
Yeah, number 14.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same position, but
I see,
just different sides of the field. So number 11 is the left side. Number 14 is the right side. So me, actually tell you quick. I feel more comfortable on number 14, which is on the right. You know, but there's a senior player who's played before me. So obviously, as the junior, I need to take the last option. So he chooses where he wants to play, and I obviously take the other. But 11, I think
that's your comfortable.
Better. I'm more comfortable in 11 now, so I can easily say I'm more comfortable in both, and I can play on each side.
But because of that experience, now that you have to play on the other position, it helps you become a better rugby player, because now you know how to play another different position in case, let's say, the other position is already filled up.
And
there's no other.
So I can fill in on both sides.
Exactly. So it helped well for you. Facts.
Just to be a bit flexy.
Facts. Facts. You know, Kwetche Season 1, Episode 7. Shout out to my boy Hlomla Ncana. Go follow him. Hlomla _Ncana. Follow our channel Kwetche on Instagram, Kwetche RSA. Follow my personal Instagram page at Brian Kwetche. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, why don't you subscribe? If you're a new viewer, why don't you subscribe?
Come on, peeps. Come on.
You know, let's keep the train going. Let's keep the train going.
Notification bells on.
You know, to get more people like him. Exactly. You know, get more stars like him. You know, it was hard work. It wasn't easy. You know, so. But I appreciate y'all for watching. If you managed to reach this far in the video, I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a good day. You know, Kwetche Season 1, Episode 7. Your host, Brian Bonga Kwetche. And I hope you guys have a good day. And we out.
Let's go.
And it's never free time, you know where the east where we live. East side, California, Cape for the kids. And my team white, we don't really care what you did. And I'm busy popping with my gang, yeah we live. Never free time, you know where the east where we live. East side, California, Cape for the kids. And my team white, we don't really care what you did. And I'm busy popping with my gang,